precincts in the city. That's a tremendous accomplishment for, and it says a lot about our neighborhood. We live and work in here. Like I said, there's 76 precincts in the city. When I say crimes, I mean the 7 major crimes that we track our crimes. You'll hear that all the time in the news: crimes down, crimes up. What they mean by that are what we call the 7 majors. These are 7 crimes that we report to the FBI on our crime statistics. They include murder, rape, robbery, felony assault, grand larceny, which is several different things: stealing a property over $1,000, stealing certain types of items, credit cards, whatnot, stolen cars, and burglaries. Okay. I got some raw numbers for you just to see how we compared this year to last year. Robberies, again, we were kind of flat. 128 robberies for the year. That's what these columns are, actually. I understand it's a little not as nice as I wanted it on the screen, but I'm just a cop, so sorry. 128 robberies versus 132 robberies for 2010. 128 robberies for a precinct in New York City is pretty astronomical. Some precincts in the city and other parts of Brooklyn will take that in a month. Okay. Felony assaults, 93 felony assaults versus 73, so we were up by about 26% in felony assaults. That's lots of things. It includes family stuff, unfortunately. It includes a lot of the fights we'll see in bars, that type of situation. That type of stuff we saw an increase in. One of the things we're most proudest in here in this precinct is the reduction in burglaries we had. Those of you who come to these meetings will know this time last year, December, we were getting hit with a pretty severe burglary pattern. We made some very good progress in the beginning of 2011 and locking up the people we thought were doing a lot of those burglaries. Most of them are still in prison. I think that shows with our number here. It's a pretty substantial decrease in burglaries. Grand larcenies, again, slightly up in grand larcenies by 2%, 317 versus 308. A lot of that stuff is the ID theft, credit card stuff. You'll see people come to us and say, oh, you know, my credit card bill just came in the mail and there's charges in the Cayman Islands, and I haven't been in the Cayman Islands my entire life. That type of stuff. A lot of that is the car break-ins we'll see. Stuff that's stolen out of the cars raises the crime to a grand larceny rather than be a petty larceny. I'll get into that a little later. Property theft is probably our #1 problem here in Greenpoint, Williamsburg, our side of Williamsburg. Again, it's car thefts. We take a lot of car thefts in this precinct. I work with the district attorney's office a lot when we do car break-ins. Some precinct commanders on the phone with the district attorney's office for the shootings and robberies. And I get on the phone when our guys lock up someone for breaking into a car. Make sure they get the maximum sentence we can give them. And you know, it works sometimes. And stolen cars. Big decrease in stolen cars, 21%. 115 cars were stolen in the precinct last year versus 147 from the year before. Stolen cars are something that's difficult sometimes for the patrol aspect to combat. A lot of it has an association with organized crime. There was a ring of people stealing cars in the north side of Brooklyn. They were stealing the cars, boxing them up and shipping them off overseas to the Middle East. That ring was taken down by our auto larceny teams in the police department. They don't necessarily work for me in the precinct. They have a citywide jurisdiction. There's a great picture, if you Google it, of a car with North Carolina plates driving down a street in Kandahar, Afghanistan. You won the plate stolen from Georgia. So, yeah. Some of the misdemeanor crimes we had problems with, again, petty larcenies. The difference between grand larceny and petty larceny is the amount of money the property was worth. Again, a lot of that's going to be our car thefts we took. That's a lot of crimes, 759 crimes over a 12-month period. That's pretty significant. And then misdemeanor assaults, again, were slightly up, 221 versus 203. Again, they're more the slapping type crimes. We'll take reports for stuff like that. Moving on, our enforcement for the year. These are just the enforcement notices that people who work for me made. It's not all the people who were arrested in Greenpoint, Williamsburg. 9-4 cops made 1,084 arrests in the last year versus 1,251. Less crime, you know, a little less arrests, and we're slightly down in personnel from last year. C summonses, that's a term we use, but C summonses are criminal court summonses. They're the types of things, the low-lying quality of life stuff. People drinking in public, people being disorderly, noise complaints, stuff like that. That's what we've done. And we've hovered just down 13% from the year before. Again, you know, when you deal with big numbers like that, it's not a major decrease. Traffic issues, always a big issue. Vehicle crashes, you see we're up 5% from the year before, 1,161 versus 1,769. That includes everything from the little fender bender, oh, you dented my bumper, I want a police report, to the more serious traffic fatality crashes that we've seen. Pedestrian hits. We've had a lot of pedestrians hit by cars, and that's a big problem here, a huge spike last year. That's something we're looking at. Oh, you can't see that, sorry. There we go. That's a big jump, and that's something we're looking at. Neighborhood's changed a lot in the last 3-4 years, 5 years. More people moved into the neighborhood than were here a decade ago. Our street landscape has changed. That's something we're very concerned about. Bicycle accidents. Now, these are bicycle accidents involving another vehicle, usually a car. 67 versus 79, again, just about the same, a little more than 10 difference. Everyone's seen the bicycles out there. We get lots of complaints about the bicycles. We've done enforcement, we've launched a new enforcement initiative on bicycles. We'd love to see the bikes to be a little more following traffic rules. I think we can see that go down a bit. Like I see the cars obey the traffic rules a little bit. And as I said, you see on this, there have been two traffic deaths in 2011. Both, I'm glad to say we've arrested the person who caused that crash. One was a pedestrian who was struck and killed on Kyler and Kansas Boulevard. He was hit and run. The person left him there. Udy's detective squad did a fantastic job in tracking the car down and arresting him. And that poor guy didn't die that day, he died a few days later, unfortunately. And our second traffic death was a DWI accident. A gentleman on Leonard Street in Meserole rear-ended a scooter, Chinese delivery man on a scooter, and killed him. And he was arrested and charged with vehicle manslaughter. And again, on traffic moving violations, if you weren't fortunate enough to get a summons from us, I apologize, but I think you might have deserved it, I hope. Total moving violations, just under 10,000 there. Again, these are just summonses written by my people. It doesn't include the other units of the police department that will come into the precinct. Hazardous summonses, they're inclusive of the top number. Hazardous summonses are the things that we write that we think mostly affect the driving habits of people. Red lights, stop signs, speeding, talking on a cell phone, disobeying, no left turn signs, stuff like that. So it's pretty much flat from the year before. And that's it, that wraps it up. There's a few little things to help you understand what's happened here in the last year. Quick overview of some of the things that have happened very recently.